In the previous video, we explored the idea that there could be an infinite number of parallel universes. The theory goes that anything that could possibly happen has in fact happened in some parallel universe. The theory arose from physicists in the 20th century. They noticed that it was impossible to measure with 100% accuracy both the location and the movement of a particle. You could know the location of a particle, but not the movement. You could know the movement, but not the location. But you couldn't know both the movement and the location exactly. Eventually, physicists came up with the brilliant idea that particles could be in more than one location at the same time. To test out this theory, they came up with the double-slit experiment. They made two slits in a piece of paper, then they shined a beam of light through. When the light passed through the slits and hit the wall behind the paper, several bands of light appeared. It was like the particles of light were interacting with each other, like waves in a pond. It also didn't matter which slit each light particle went through. Each light particle might as well have been able to pass through both slits at the same time. But something can't really be in two places at once, could it? I mean, if I put a cup on the kitchen counter, I expect it to remain on the kitchen counter. I'm not going to go to the bathroom and find it there, am I? If it's in the kitchen, then it's in the kitchen. At least that's how we generally experience this world. For really small things, though, things are very different. Anyways, back to the double-slit experiment. When they measured which light particle went through which slit, the several bands of light hitting the wall behind the paper disappeared. Each light particle was forced to choose a slit. Sometimes one particle went through the left slit, and sometimes one went through the right slit. How does a particle decide which one to choose? That's where the parallel universe theory comes in. The theory goes that whenever there are two paths for a particle to take, two universes are immediately created. In one parallel universe, the light particle goes through the left slit, and in another parallel universe, the light particle goes through the right slit. So just by measuring light particles passing through two slits, billions and billions of parallel universes could be created. So, if this theory is indeed valid, how does that affect us? What does it matter if every action we take results in the creation of different parallel universes? I mean, it's not like it matters that much if our paths in life could be different in another world. Who cares if we won the lottery in another world? Or if we went bankrupt? What matters most is the universe we happen to find ourselves in, right? While other alternate realities may indeed be possible, they aren't really much use to us if we have no way to access them. Still, the very idea that there may be parallel universes out there is worth exploring. Exploring this idea may lead us to some interesting insights. Let's explore why we find ourselves in the universe that we are currently in. Our current position is the culmination of all of the actions we've taken. But have you ever wondered why we've taken the actions that we've taken? Why did we do what we did? Why did we decide to order the food that we did yesterday? Why did we decide to go to that website just now? Why did we decide to start walking with our left foot first or our right foot first? A lot of the decisions that we made, we seem to have made without really being aware that we were making them. How much time we take in between breaths, how fast to blink, even the ordering of words when we're speaking. It all just seems to happen without too much thinking. And speaking of thinking, how do we decide what to think about? How do we decide the thoughts that float into our heads? What makes us do the things that we do and think the things that we think? The answers to those questions are still being researched in more detail today. What we do know is that our brains are filled with billions of brain cells, firing electrical signals at each other. The way these brain cells connect with each other determines our thoughts and our actions. So an electron firing this way might cause us to make a left. and an electron firing that way might cause us to make a right. But what might make an electron go this way or that way? The inner workings of electrons are a mystery to us. We don't really know what causes an electron to go this way or that. Since we can't exactly predict how an electron behaves, it's probably best to just say that an electron moves around randomly for now. It's an assumption that seems to be backed up by observation. Well, if there's no way to accurately predict the movement of an electron, there's no way of accurately predicting how an electron will move around through brain cells. Therefore, there's no way of accurately predicting a person's thoughts and actions. Sure, some pathways are more likely than others. After all, an electron can't move through other electrons. If an electron bumps into another electron, it is repelled away. So some thoughts and actions are more likely than others. But still, if there's no way of knowing for sure what a person will think or do, we can imagine that there are a wide range of seemingly randomly determined possibilities. So we can imagine a wide range of parallel universes being created by all of the electrons firing around in your brain. And if there are billions and billions of parallel universes being created all the time, why did we end up in the one that we're currently in? Can we choose to go to a better one if we wanted to? Why can't we go to a parallel universe where we happen to win the lotto so that we can live lives of comfort and luxury? Unfortunately, the universe we're in is the universe we're in. It's like we played a giant game of cosmic Plinko. There may be many possibilities for how our universe can turn out, but we eventually bump down the path that we bumped down. But hey, until we're done with this universe, there's still plenty of reason to remain optimistic. We may not be in full control over how everything turns out, but we can still try to make the best of it. And if all of the little particles flying around randomly haven't yet chosen the paths that they will take out of the billions and billions of possible paths that they can take, then that just means that the future hasn't been set in stone just yet. And that means that there is still hope that the future you want is just lying around the corner. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.